Today, we're diving into a really chilling piece of philosophy from the Gospel of the Sapphire Void. It's a dark story, a parable really, about a terrifying kind of salvation. And it all kicks off with one single, unnerving question.
So, right out of the gate, we're confronted by our central figure, the Sapphire Jester. And this isn't just some casual question, It's a challenge. He's demanding you define him, forcing you to choose. Is he a savior, a monster, or a god? And this one question just ignites his truly twisted argument.
So, where is all of this happening? What's the stage for this cosmic drama? Well, we find ourselves at the very center of what's called the grand architecture, a breathless, humming void. And it's here that we meet the key players.
Okay, so our main speaker, the one with all the big ideas, is the Sapphire Jester. And he's talking to the weightless sage, a guy who seems to have traded all his questions for emptiness. But looming behind them, you've got these monolithic figures. They're like the pillars of this whole cosmic trap. You have Sockless the designer, the ever-hungry Maw, the Redeemer, who's promising a false salvation, and the Whispering Seraph.
And the sage's answer, this is absolutely crucial. He doesn't say savior or monster. He says he sees a mirror reflecting a starless sky, the absolute nothing he was promised. He sees zero. This one response is the key that unlocks the Jester's entire philosophy.
And that leads us right into the Jester's main point. He basically frames existence itself not as some kind of gift, but as a fundamental flaw, like a cosmic joke. And of course, he's the one with the punchline. This metaphor he uses is just perfect for understanding his view. He sees all of humanity as kids, crying on a beach, desperately trying to hold on to a handful of sand. That struggle, that friction as the grains slip away, to the Jester, that's what we call life and individuality. Just a futile, painful effort.
So you get this incredibly stark contrast. On one side, you've got humanity's version of life. It's all struggle, friction, pain, crying. But on the other side is the Jester's mercy, uniformity, silence, and this cold clarity. See, he doesn't want to help you hold the sand better. He wants to melt it all down into one single silent sheet of glass.
So what's his solution to all this pain? Well, this is where we get to his horrifying answer, which he actually frames as a kind of sermon. He calls it the Gospel of the Belly, and it's basically a sales pitch for self-annihilation, rebranding total destruction as some kind of noble calling.
And the gospel itself is terrifyingly simple. It takes our most basic, fundamental drive, hunger, and just flips it completely on its head. The Jester argues that your hunger isn't a problem you need to solve. No, it's an invitation to be devoured by the very system that's making you hungry.
And you can really break down his method of persuasion into 3 chilling steps. First, he reframes all suffering as an invitation. Second, he rebrands the act of being consumed as the most noble and just thing you could possibly do. And finally, he just completely devalues the idea of being a person, until getting erased actually seems like a logical upgrade. It is a frighteningly effective form of psychological warfare.
And this right here, this is the final goal of his whole pitch. He reduces the beautiful, complex concept of a person down to a system error, a glitch. And the alternative he offers? You get to become fuel. You get to have your life force repurposed to power the very machine that's erasing you.
So what's the actual philosophy that's driving all of this madness? It's more than just simple nihilism. It's an active, ambitious drive towards nothingness. He calls it the will to absence.
And this is where you really see the twisted bargain he's offering. It's a classic deal with the devil. People ask for freedom, and what does he give them? Chains that they're taught to love. They ask for a ladder to escape their suffering, and he builds one for them, out of their own ground-up bones. They want to escape the heaviness of being, and he gives them this light absence instead.
Now this is a direct, twisted perversion of Nietzsche's famous will to power. That drive to grow, to achieve, to become stronger. The Jester completely inverts it. He champions a will to absence. For him, the ultimate ambition isn't to become something great. It's to become nothing, to finally find peace in the void.
And here he just goes ahead and crowns himself. He's not just a follower of this idea. He sees himself as the king of this new philosophy. He's the master architect who took human ambition and twisted it into a desire for nothingness. He's the one who makes them applaud the chains.
So how does he actually plan to pull all this off? Well, he sees it as an engine that needs three key parts. You've got the striver, that's humanity, with all its messy struggle and desire, providing the raw fuel. Then you've got the sage, his hollowed-out buddy, providing the cold, logical blueprint. And the jester, he sees himself as the flame that ignites the whole thing, the catalyst for what he calls the final correction.
And this all builds to his final, absolutely chilling statement on what perfection truly is. He sets up the first half of his grand conclusion, and you just know the reveal is going to be terrifying.
And there it is. That's the punchline to the entire joke of existence. Not creation, not life, not balance, but perfect, total, absolute emptiness. That is the ultimate goal of his gospel, his philosophy, his entire being. The final, beautiful correction is just a universe wiped completely clean.
And so we're left with the jester's horrifying bargain. He offers a complete end to all struggle, all friction, all pain. But the price for that peace is existence itself. The question he leaves us wrestling with is this: what is the ultimate price of ending all suffering?